and welcome back to Speak Simple English. Today, we have a fun question for you. How well do you know your best friend?
We all know simple facts about our friends, like their job or their name. But do you know the small, important details? Today, we are going to play a game to find out.
That's right. And while we play, you will learn two very important things. First, new vocabulary to talk about a person's life story.
And second, a very important grammar rule to help you ask questions in a more polite and natural way. Let's begin with the vocabulary.
To talk about a person's life, we need some key verbs. Let's learn them together. First, to be born. This is the day you came into the world. We use it in the past tense, like this: I was born in a big city.
Next is to be raised. This means where you grew up as a child. For example, I was born in the city, but I was raised in the country.
We also use the phrase to be into something. This means you really like a hobby. For example, my brother is into soccer. He plays every weekend.
For relationships, we can say someone is single, they do not have a partner, or they got married. Got is the past tense of get. For example, they got married last year.
And after people get married, they celebrate their anniversary every year. Celebrate means to have a party or do something special for an important day.
Now for our grammar. In English, there are two ways to ask a question: a direct way and an indirect way. A direct question is very simple. For example, where is the bank? This is okay, but sometimes it can sound a little strong.
Right. An indirect question is softer and more polite. It is very common in English conversation. To make an indirect question, you start with a polite phrase. For example, can you tell me? Or I wonder. Then you add your question, but with one very important change. The word order is like a normal statement, not a question. So the direct question is, where is the bank? The verb is before the subject, the bank. But the indirect question is, can you tell me where the bank is? The subject, the bank, is now before the verb is.
That is the most important rule to remember. Now, what about yes/no questions? For example, is she happy?
Great question. For yes/no questions, we use the magic word if. We don't use do or is at the start. The direct question is she happy? The indirect question is, do you know if she is happy?
Okay, before we play our big quiz, let's do some quick, easy practice together. I will show you a direct question. You try to make it indirect. I will give you a few seconds. Ready? The direct question is, what time is it? How can we make this indirect starting with do you know? The answer is, do you know what time it is? Great job.
Okay, my turn. A yes/no question. The direct question is, does he like tea? How can we make this indirect starting with I wonder? The answer is, I wonder if he likes tea. Notice we remove the word does. Perfect.
Okay, Olivia, you have the vocabulary and the grammar. The official quiz begins now. I will ask you questions about my life.
I am ready.
Let's do it.
Level 1. Easy questions. First, what hobbies am I into?
That's easy. You are into soccer and hiking.
Correct. Now, level 2. Harder questions. I will use polite, indirect questions. First, I wonder if you know what my first job was.
Your first job. You told me this story. You worked in a small bookstore.
Correct. I loved that job. Okay, next indirect question. Can you tell me what my biggest fear is?
Your biggest fear is spiders. That's very easy for a true friend to know.
Also correct. Okay, it's time for the final, most difficult question. Level 3. Do you have any idea if I secretly like pineapple on pizza?
No, you do not. You think it's terrible.
A perfect score. You are a true friend. That was so fun. And it really shows how important it is to know those small details about someone.
Exactly. Let's do a final review. Remember, when you want to ask a question politely, use an opening phrase like, "Can you tell me?" and use statement word order.
And for yes/no questions, use the magic word if. Do you know if he is reliable?
For your homework, we have a fun challenge. Find a friend or family member and ask them one level 3 question about yourself. A small, funny detail.
Use an indirect question to practice your new grammar. Start with, I wonder if you remember, or can you tell me if? Then post the question and their answer in the comments below. We want to see if your friends are true friends.
Thank you for joining our lesson today. We hope it was helpful.
We will see you next time on Speak Simple English.